We have a saying around here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no brains, no headache.
Mr. Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Let's get it on No Brains, No Headache podcast, episode 250, ladies and gentlemen. That's 250. Yeah, it is, man. So we're here recording yet again, another one, 250, 250. That's right. And we're here in the studio. We decided to bring in a special guest, so let's get into it. I'm Jordan Weichel, your host today. As always, happy to be here. Damn glad to do so. Across from me, confidant, comedian, co-host, longtime friend. It's Matt Cleary. Some call him Applesauce. Some call him Ongo. And we got our good friend. We got the one and only Birdie Mac here in studio for another appearance. Second appearance on the podcast.
I'm surprised you wanted me to come back.
I figured, I said we need to pull out all the stops for episode 250. Shane Gillis was tied up, so we went with the next.
Pulled out all the stops, sent one text message.
Yeah, we have us three here had what we had called movie night we had a good run.
Yeah.
Matt missed it 1 week. The 1 week Matt missed it. You and I were on a fast, and we watched a Holocaust movie.
Jordan scrolling through movies. He's like, "Oh, about this one," and it's just a tragic
I wanted it
Holocaust
to reflect
story.
how we were feeling. Matt was absent. He got killed by the Nazis. You and I were on a fast. We were pretty much in a concentration
It was horrible.
camp.
I feel like you picked the worst Holocaust movie, too.
I don't know, dude. It was either that or Black Hawk Down, and
I would have been way happy with Black Hawk
Now that
Down,
you
dude.
say that out loud, Black Hawk
That's a
Down.
great movie.
Yeah.
The movie we watched was horrible.
can I be honest with you? I ate right before. You're like,
Fuck
still
you.
going strong. Huh? I was like, yeah.
I'm literally checking my pulse. Like, hour 52, Jordan, how are you feeling?
Well,
And
then
you're
I
like,
was so full from eating, so I was also dead.
Jordan just has ribs all over him.
Oh, dude, I did have some ribs this past weekend, and it was delicious. Memorial Day weekend is behind us. We are recording on Monday, May 26th, so June right around the corner. What do you say for Memorial Day? What's the thing? The thingy?
Thank you for your cervix.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yep. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Whatever it is, thank you. Memorial Day weekend. People make a big
It's
deal.
like we honor those who have fallen.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate
Why
that.
don't they just stand up?
Oh, God.
Dude, we had a wheelchair guy sighting. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That nothing gets people in wheelchairs more excited than minor league hockey.
Matt has a really good point there. So congratulations to the Bismarck Bobcats. Apparently they won the Robertson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nailed it. So the non-athletic hockey league, the non-alcoholic hockey league, whatever you want to call it. But we're here for episode 250. We got a lot of things to go over. We got Birdie Mac here. Like I said, quarter of a way to 1,000. Matt, what's our goal? If we had to put a goal.
253?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thank God we're almost done with this shit.
I don't know, 30?
We're way past that.
Nice, we hit our goal.
Like age 30?
Yeah, we're past that as well.
Yeah.
Over the hill. It's all downhill from here. Is it time for a midlife crisis? Are we right about there? I mean, 62 is a long time.
If I make it to 60, I'd be shocked. So, yeah, I'd be right up.
You have poor health?
No, I just treat my body terribly.
Yeah.
Every fucking weekend.
Well, the conversation we had prior to recording, which will remain confidential, Matt woke up 20 minutes before we started recording.
I was pulling out of my driveway when he said, I just woke up. I said, what?
I got up at like
Should I take a beat or something?
4 a.m. this morning.
Well, yeah, how was Omaha?
It was good. So the flight back today, get on the flight at 5:30. Guy behind me is like, double jack rocks. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was probably like $27.
The guy probably called that
I was
his breakfast. Dude.
First class, so it's free.
Right. You do this thing where you have like the earliest flights in the world, and I refuse. I won't travel if I have to do that. Like,
It's
the
so
early
nice
flight.
getting back at like 10:30 though, that I have the whole day to sleep.
I don't think it's worth it. How was your flight home from Chicago, Big Mac?
I think we ate like 16 tacos the night before, so it was pretty fucking brutal, actually.
Oh man, no, that toilet.
Or no, we had the deep dish pizza the night before, which is somehow so much worse.
Oh yeah,
I went
just
into
sits like cement in your stomach.
I went into that deep dish pizza place thinking like we would all get our own little personal pizza, and I had one piece, and I was clogged up for like 3 or 4 days after that. Yeah.
The one time Matt and I went to Chicago, we did the same exact thing, but we got drunk like before/during our flight, and then we were hungover by the time we landed. I tell this story all the time. It's because it's fantastic. We got to Chicago. We went to the wrong hotel. We walk in, and Matt's like, well, this is pretty fancy for whatever rate it was. And we're at the front desk, and they're trying to check us in, and it's like, you know that feeling when you can sense something's wrong? We're like, Matt and I are both like, oh shit, did we not like press, that final button you gotta press at the end of booking something? And finally the person was like, why don't you try the Holiday Inn Express next door? And we're like, oh shit. So we literally walked out. We're like, oh,
A light's hanging down by duct tape, and it's like, all right, we're home.
Oh, this is more like
We're
us.
home.
Yeah.
that's more our speed. We got up to our room, each laid in our beds and watched Jersey Shore for 3 hours.
Christ.
Welcome to Chicago.
I ordered a deep dish pizza for pickup, and I was walking on like with my phone. I'm like, where the fuck is this place? It said it was right by the hotel. It was the hotel restaurant. And I was walking outside by like the river, like holding my phone.
hasn't showed up yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we walked a block away and we're like, it's telling us to go back to where we came from. And then, yeah, we did the same exact thing. We had one slice of deep dish pizza, and then it sat in the fridge until we got home from like the bar the next night and was just had the munchies and then had cold.
I was going to ask, was there a microwave in here?
If there was, we didn't bother utilizing it.
Oh, God.
So at that point, when you're so drunk that you're looking at something that you've done a million times, you're like, I can't figure this one out.
I can't imagine eating a deep dish pizza not like piping hot. It has to be impossible to eat a cold deep dish pizza.
Yeah, the cheese was a little hard, but nothing the old chompers can't get through.
Your teeth are just stuck in the cheese.
Right.
Yeah, like there's certain significant life events, like where were you during 9/11? Well, where were you when Andrew Luck retired from the NFL? Laying in bed in a hotel, Chicago hotel, watching Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Actually, when 9/11 happened, when I saw it on TV, I was in the pizza place in my hometown. Speaking of pizza and 9/11.
How many pizza joints they got there?
One. The only one.
Did
actually.
anyone? Was
It's
anyone
closed now?
Was anyone like watching on the TV and like, woo?
No, I can't. Nobody cheered, really. A couple tears, I guess.
Wait a minute.
You're a
This
little more
happened on like a
patriotic back then.
Tuesday
Yeah.
in the morning. What the hell were you doing at the pizza joint?
I
Weren't
was
you
in
in
like
school?
second grade.
Yeah, we were in second grade.
Yeah.
National tragedy. We got to get down to the pizza shop.
Oh, we hadn't heard about it yet. It's not like Twitter existed back then.
When Matt and I watched it in our second grade classroom, school stopped and we turned on the TV and we were
I
glued
had
to
like
that.
62 kids in my elementary school. It was kind of behind the times.
Like the whole school, not your class, the entire school.
They even wheeled in one of the TVs that's like ratcheted down.
Yeah.
On the stand.
We're like, oh, sweet movie day.
When
And
you
it
walk
turns
in-
out the towers are just getting
What movie is
we
this?
go to the Pentagon.
That was the best when you would walk into class and there was a TV in there that you're like a sweet movie day, or you would watch like CSI or Planet Earth or something, and now you just realize that your teacher went out on a bender on a Tuesday night.
yeah.
He's just fucking hungover as can be.
My world history teacher, I ran into him at a bar like a couple years ago, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, remember we would watch Remember the Titans?" And like he would just like turn it on, and we just watch from the beginning, watch 40 minutes, and then be like, "All right, get out of here."
Pick it up tomorrow.
We did it like 5 times. He's like, every time I was hungover, I'd be like, "Guys, remember the Titans?"
Battle of Gettysburg.
Yeah.
The
We
one
wouldn't-
scene.
Yeah, I don't even know if we'd get to that point, because then it'd be like, "Well, class is over. Maybe we'll pick it up at this time the next time we watch it." Nope, just start it from the beginning.
Fire it up again next Friday when I'm ungodly hungover after happy hour. What can you do?
Yep.
But how's the summer going so far? There, Birdie Mac. Golf is back in action.
Yeah, I'm pretty sunburnt. I just went out and played golf today, and like every weekend for the last 6 or 7 weeks.
How are you managing all the summer activities? Fishing, golfing, recreational slow pitch men's softball. How could you possibly juggle all that?
Well, every one of those activities involves drinking beers, so pretty poorly, actually. But yeah, there's a lot going on in the summer. I've willingly have an insane schedule, and it's kind of catching up to me, honestly.
It's technically not even summer yet.
No. And here we are.
So here we are, just 2 weeks into like decent weather, and it's like, I don't want to do anything. Just sit inside. I enjoyed it when it rained for a whole week, because then it justified me being a lazy pile of shit.
Yeah.
You ever have those days?
Oh, yeah. I actually thought about doing that tonight and bailing on you guys. I'm just kidding.
Same.
Yeah. Honestly, if it wasn't episode 250, there's a decent chance we maybe would have just.
Memorial Day.
Yeah, we gotta take a moment to memorialize. I don't know. Is that what you do? Do you guys ever see life hacks on like social media, and it's just the most complicated thing ever?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
It would just be easier just to do it the normal way.
I love the ones where they like cut a bolt in half, and then they're like, if you weld it onto the side of a screw, then you can use it as a wrench. It's like, or you could
Buy a
just,
wrench.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's like, yeah, well, if you have a welding machine in your house and some spare bolts and nuts, then you can make a wrench.
Yeah,
Or
'cause
spend $1.25 and buy a wrench.
the normal person doesn't have a wrench, but has a TIG welder
Yeah.
and a rotary and a saw. Yeah.
Or the recipes that are like, easy way to feed your family at night, and it's 600 ingredients.
And they're like mixing it all in the sink or something
Yeah.
instead of a bowl, and I'm just screaming at my fucking phone. It's just rage bait.
They have the most complicated appliances ever. You know what I don't like? Here's an example: those like meat claws that you use to tear apart meat. Here, I'm gonna throw a wild idea out there: 2 forks and then a little bit of muscle.
Or your own fingers attached to your hands.
If it's tender enough, it should
Yeah.
just fall apart.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, you have the meat claws when you. Meat claws is like what you get a cousin that you don't like very much for their wedding.
Just re-gifting. I've been doing this thing, the classic RSVP to a wedding and then don't go. It's kind of fun.
I'm the guy that has to I'll get the invite and be like, go on thenot.com and look at our registry. And I'm like, first of all, me traveling for your wedding is the gift. So, but then I always forget to RSVP, and then they have to text me and say, hey, are you coming? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be there. Absolutely.
Not.
Can you just RSVP for me? And
Yeah,
just text me like,
well,
no, you have to go onto the website. It's like, that I'm not coming.
Just tell you I'm going to show up. I'm going to be there.
That was a reminder that you're just single. It's like, are you bringing a guest? It's like, maybe the Uber driver. I'll ask them if they want to pop in for a cocktail or two. We'll see what happens.
At the wedding I was at this weekend, their late night snack, I thought it was ice cream. So it's like comes in like a waffle cone. I'm like, oh, sick. Ice cream would be real good right now after 400 Busch Lights.
Yeah.
And
Nice and
I just like
creamy.
not really looking at it, and I like take a bite. I'm like, that's mac and cheese.
Oh, God.
That is mashed potatoes. That is not caramel. It is gravy.
They put it in a cone.
It was like, like a spongier waffle cone. It was really good.
Oh, yeah. It's not what I was expecting it to be hot.
The late night snack is a power play.
But it can also go real bad. Like one of my buddies had like full on nacho spread.
Oh God!
And when you give drunk people nachos, someone spilt, and it was me, all over the dance floor. Some asshole spilt nachos all over the dance floor, and it's just.
I was at a wedding at 1603. Was it 2 summers ago or something? And at like 12:15 p.m., they bring out like 62 pizzas. It's just like all the drunkest people on the planet, and you're just gonna feed them pizza. And it was just literally the entire dance floor pizza, every tabletop pizza. Everybody's shirtless body was covered in pizza.
Yeah, I love the no pants dance or the tarps off. I heard about a wedding recently where they did that, and they're like, oh, yeah, there were people that were not impressed. They called them rednecks. I was like, oh, okay, so they're not from North Dakota. Got it. You know, people don't know about a red-eye room?
Yeah, it doesn't exist like outside of small town North Dakota.
Really?
Yeah, you ask the next person you talk to that's not from, let's just say the region. If they're not from here, just be like, hey, you ever heard of a red-eye room at a wedding? And they're like, what? You take a flight across the country at the wedding? Confused.
I always get stuck in the red eye room when they have one. I just get sucked in and never leave.
Or you see like a 13-year-old kid in the red eye room, and you're just like, what the
What's he doing here? You want a beer? No.
Why do the condiments taste better at restaurants?
They do, though.
Every single one.
Well, I think like a ranch dressing, you make the commercial size mix. That's like really good. You get a bottle of ranch from the grocery store, ranch dressing. It's not the same.
I think it might be a temperature thing. It's always a little bit warmer at restaurants.
So is it like runnier then? Like would
I
the ranch
think
be
so.
runnier?
But it's like I went to one restaurant that I was like, wow, this honey mustard is really good. So I went and you could buy it from the grocery store. Went and bought it from the grocery store. Sucked.
I think all ranch you can buy from the store sucks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you don't have a 5-gallon, bucket that you're mixing it in with a giant ladle, you're not doing it right.
Could I just walk up to the counter at B-Dubs with like $500 and be like, what's that secret you got back there for your ranch dressing?
Tell me the secret.
Yeah.
Tell me now.
And then they don't tell me, so I just pull out a gun.
How about now?
This will only take a second.
You don't know.
But yeah, I don't know. Condiments, they just, I don't know. They do them better. They make them better. Honey mustard is really hit or miss. I feel like I've learned.
Good honey mustard. This place I was at in Omaha, they only gave you 2 breadsticks. It was like pretzel sticks. And then they gave you 2 huge cups of one was honey mustard, one was cheese. And it's like, there's no way you can use all of this with these 2. I was like, and still had half of it left.
Taking shots with it.
Yeah. I was taking just like, I'd be like tiny piece of bread and be like, whoop.
Yep.
Not even close to finish it.
The place we went to in Chicago, I wish they would have adapted that rule because we got a 6-pound pretzel with like a cup of cheese about this big.
They had honestly the best sauces though.
Yeah,
they had
did.
like a cinnamon butter, which is wildly underrated for pretzels.
Yeah.
And then I think they had like a nacho cheese and then like a stone ground mustard.
That stone ground was really good too.
We were talking about stone ground mustard in the airport like normal people do. And I'm like, yeah, I haven't had it in a while. I think we had it like once every day we were in Chicago.
Yeah.
What was the one story that your sister had? She's like, Matt, do you want a drink? And you're like, no, I just ate 14 egg rolls.
Oh, yeah. So our flight Delta Airlines was the last airline that was holding on to like, these guys are good. Just boned us hard in Bismarck. And then, so we're getting off the flight. Anne's like, you hang back, get the bags. I'll go see if they can wait a couple minutes at the flight. And so Anne's like, yeah, they're waiting for us. I'm like, well, I'm still waiting. They gate checked our bags. So I have to wait for the thing to come up with all the Asian people that are standing there way too close to me.
They're somehow all wearing a Nikon camera on
Yeah.
their chest.
Yeah. And
It's an airport. What are they taking
I
pictures of?
get the
You wanna
bags
see
and
here.
walk pretty hastily down there. And then Anne's walking the other way, like, yeah, we missed flight. And I was like, cool. What do we do? They're like, well, they tried to put us on one for 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. And I was like, what? They're like, yeah, there's one more, but it's at 6:30 and there's only one spot open.
Rock, paper,
Yeah.
scissors.
We'll just share the seat. Airlines are pretty lenient on that stuff. And then Anne's like, I'm just going to go make them put us on the flight. And I was like, what? And she did.
It worked.
And, but I could tell, like, we definitely fucked something up with the plane because there's people that just kept changing seats and we got, like, bumped to, like, Comfort Plus. And
Nice.
some guy was like, she's like, oh, here's your new seat. And he was like 6A and now is like 15F. And he's like, I paid for an aisle seat.
Sorry.
I was like, wow, man, you should have paid more, I guess. Like,
Apparently not enough, buddy.
and so we went to the Delta Lounge after we missed our flight, and it was Asian night there, and they had egg rolls.
Oh, Christ.
And before Anne got done yelling at some 19-year-old gate agent to put us on the flight, I had eaten 7 egg rolls. And then I was kind of pissed at Delta at this point. So I went up and I grabbed one of their Italian sandwiches, took a bite of it. I'm like, there's no meat on this. So I just threw it in the garbage. And then I was walking away and then I saw that they had like the meat station where you're supposed to go put your own meat on the sandwich. So I went, which sucks. Yeah.
bread.
So it was like just like veggies and like, and so I went back, put some like pepperoni and salami on it, took one bite, and I was like, I don't like this. So I threw a second sandwich away, went back to the egg rolls, got like 3 more egg rolls, some rice, and some chicken, and then ate that. And then I was like sitting there. We had like an hour left. I'm like, I could fit a couple more in. Or like Anne came and sat down. She had a couple egg rolls on her plate, and I just grabbed one. And I was like, I'll go get more egg rolls.
You should have brought some pocket egg
Oh, you
rolls.
found the egg rolls,
So that the guy who got bumped to 15F, you'd be like, well, do you want a pocket
Yeah.
egg roll?
I threw away all my clothes.
Just
and
lifts up his shirt. He's like,
I'm like the
I got
fat
it.
British kid in heavyweights with just egg rolls duct taped to my.
Napoleon, give me some of your talk.
Hey,
that a
new
s-
kid, come over here and help me get the salami up.
Yeah. And then so Anne was like, they have a gelato machine in this other area. So I like went and walked around, and I go up to the bartender. I'm like, do you guys have a gelato machine? And he's like, no, I think it's only in the summer. I was like, okay, I'll take a whiskey then.
Well, in that case, sip it shall be.
Yeah.
Piqued my interest now. Wow.
Yeah, it was basically the Curb episode, like the first episode when he's like, I'll take an apple juice. He's like, we don't have apple juice. He's like, I'll take a vodka Red Bull.
A gin and tonic.
Yeah.
You want a beer? 7:00 in the morning. Scotch.
I did have 2 vodka cranberries at like 8 a.m. this morning
Nice.
and then fell asleep.
Nice. Is that why you get the early flight, is to be the first in line at the bar for the vodka crayons?
Now it was on a plane, so it didn't count as being an alcoholic. I asked that
Drinks
guy.
on the plane don't count.
I asked that guy who had 2 Jack and Cokes at 5 a.m. and he said it was okay. So
Turns out he was cool with it.
yeah,
Definitely somebody reliable to get your alcoholism advice from. But let's get into it. We got episode 250.
Okay. Let's party.
how many people do you think you've made eye contact with that are no longer alive?
Like just in passing.
Yep. Or like I see someone like in a car, like in a big city.
Oh God, thousands of them. I would think. I don't know.
Such a dark question.
It's a thinker though. I'm gonna say over 10,000. And you go to a big city and you're just, I'm making eye contact with everyone. I'm the worst people watcher.
Oh yeah. I just like when we were in Wrigley.
I bet there's
Just the other
30
weekend.
people that are
There's
dead.
25 people that I've looked at that are now
Yeah.
dead, and that was 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I
They
only,
died in the bleachers.
yeah, I
might have.
only killed 6 of them. So like,
The other 19, what happened to them?
Oh boy, I was not expecting that question.
oh man, it's the only thing that like I'm just like, every person I walk by, I'm like, they could be dead tomorrow. Looking myself in the mirror, it's like, there's one more.
You're next, buddy.
You did this.
Yeah, the next time you're out with Matt at some sort of public establishment, watch him turn his head aggressively to everybody who walks in the door.
I'm pretty subtle about it.
No, he is not. One time we were at open mic night just waiting for it to start, and I had to tell Matt, I was like, Matt, quit staring everybody down when they walk in the door. It's like you owe somebody money or something. You're afraid they're going to walk in. Yeah, that's it.
I don't think I owe anyone money. My credit card company is why hello.
Oh yeah, they know me quite well.
Yeah, you said at the wedding you were at, your family members just put all of their drinks on your tab.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that they've listened to the podcast and were like, "Oh, Jordan does it to him all the time. Let's keep the tradition alive."
Cool.
I have a feeling that like I was the first person to open a tab, and then a bunch of other people did too, and then they're like, "Oh, what's the tab under?" And it's like Cleary. Okay, there's 600 of them, and mine was at the top of the list, so they're just like whoop, clicking that.
Yeah, I feel like those bartenders don't give a shit what tab they put it under. They're just trying to sling them as fast as they can.
Or yesterday we were at
money.
this bar, and I had opened a tab because I got there first, and in my dad.
Right when they opened at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
I was.
It was after the zoo, so spent 5 hours at the zoo yesterday. It was pretty sweet. Not kind of, well, some of it. But so I opened a tab, and then I go and I like close it, and then my dad goes and puts another drink on it. And he was just like, "Yeah, it's under Cleary," and like walks away. And I was like, "I closed my tab." And the guy was like, "Okay, sounds good." And then I told my dad that. He's like, "They know where I'm sitting." It's like the kid wearing a Callaway hat's just not gonna do anything about it.
He's gonna be fine. He's just gonna talk about it later.
Yeah.
He's got some material that he could talk about, and that's what he's more happy about.
I was at a wedding last year, one of my good buddies' weddings, and I opened up a tab right away, and I made the mistake of telling a few people that I had a tab open at the bar.
Yeah.
It's like 1:30 in the morning. I got my fucking tie tied around my head, no shirt on. I go and I close up my tab, and he's like, "That'll be $9.64." I'm just like, what? He's like,
Why don't you
yeah,
just
it's
lay down four
$964.
credit cards, just split it between these?
So I'm just like, I got to make a call quick.
Turns out my local bank isn't open right now.
I'm pretty sure I said right away. I was like, "Oh, it's on sale then, huh?" Damn. Yeah.
$9.64.
Where's the decimal on this one? Yeah, I racked up a $964 bar tab.
So let's delve into that a little bit. How are we slicing that one up?
I have to believe that I contributed to about 600 of it. The rest I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, or you just get way too drunk like before dinner. You're just coming up with like a bunch of shots to your table, like everyone's not even sitting down. You're like, "Guys, what are we doing here?"
Yeah, my other buddy who lives in Nashville, he was at the wedding too, and he goes up like right before the wedding. The whole wedding party was going to do a shot of tequila, so he walks up there and he's like, "Yeah, can I just buy a bottle of tequila from you?" And they're like, "Nah, you can't buy a bottle, unfortunately." He's like, "Okay, I'll take 35 shots of tequila." And the bartender was like, fuck, I should have thought of that.
Leave the bottle.
Shot glasses. Oh, God.
Yeah, Jordan and I think we were talking about like on a bucket list is be like, leave the bottle.
Leave the bottle.
And then we asked like the next bar we went to, and they're like, "Yeah, that's not actually a thing." It's
No.
like, well, that sucks.
The bar got that bottle for $17, and
Yeah.
they make $1,800 off it.
Well, I'm glad that you bring up weddings, because my next point was, humans at their core, they just, all they really want to do is party. And this is more aimed at the ladies when it comes to a wedding, because you have an engagement party, bridal shower, bachelor/bachelorette party, rehearsal dinner, wedding, day after wedding, and a honeymoon. That's 7 parties.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm all for it, but at one point, don't you just like the day after the wedding party? I've never really understood. It's like I'm a socializer at heart, but my social battery is dead right now, and I kind of don't want to. I don't even like to stay at the same hotel as everybody else, because then you just see them the next day, and it's like I have zero interest in seeing anyone.
Go down for continental breakfast, and they're all sitting down there, and you just turn around and go back to your room. Like, I'll be back at 9:50.
Dude, continental breakfasts are maybe in my top 10 favorite things of all time.
Really? The powdered eggs and all?
Powdered eggs, those like plastic tasting sausages.
Yes, those are so bad.
Dude, I will literally go down there, like if I'm like traveling for work or something, and I'm like, ooh, maybe I'm gonna snack later. I'll go down there and I'll take some of that, put it in the fridge of my
pocket.
Put it in my fridge in my hotel room, and then I'm eating.
Matt's just eating sausages in bed when he gets back from the bar.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing.
You just rip the cereal dispenser off the wall.
I'll be taking this, bill it to my room, leave the bottle.
When they have like the carafes of milk, like just take the whole thing.
A what? A carafe?
Yeah, like a.
Is that a real word?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, shit.
How do I even spell this?
It's fucking made up. There's no way it's
Is it a C, you think?
Yeah, it's like giraffe, but
Carafe.
the keyboard's not on.
Search history.
Oh,
is
wow,
interesting,
Matt.
Jordan.
Did you? What was it?
Just kidding. It's a container.
a carafe.
Fuck, do you know
Carafe.
what this is?
Carafe, a glass container with a flared lip used for serving liquids, especially wine and coffee.
They always have it.
Matt, I don't want to play Scrabble with this guy.
No, definitely not.
Well, that's
That'd be a
they
triple
have
word.
them at
Thank you very
church. So
much.
the priest, after he was done, did never mind.
After he was done with what now? I can't believe you knew what that was called.
I'm very impressed, Matt. Yeah, like the priest at a Catholic mass, they don't do the wine anymore, but they still bring it out. So after it's all done, he's like, blessing the shit or saying the prayers or whatever.
Or we went to a Catholic school.
It's a whole carafe of wine. And he's just, it's like there's like spillings.
So
Well then, a taste it shall be.
So there was one time we had church at school, and the senior students are like the Eucharistic ministers, and the rule is, and we'd like have the wine, and the rule is if you don't like get all your wine away, then you have to like drink all of it. And
Matt just takes it and goes to the corner.
yeah, no, but there's this one girl. So she has like 6 ounces of wine, and she weighs like 75 pounds, and no one goes to her. So she just has to chug all the wine. And like I just remember like she was like sitting down after like out, and like there's a bunch of teachers around. They're like, guys, maybe we need to change something about this. They just have a drunk student at like 11 a.m.
Well, the rest of us were, we just hit it, you know, in our coffee.
Sorry, Pastor, nobody came to get my wine this time. Matt, this is the third time this month.
People go up to Matt and he's just, nope.
All right, you've had enough, sir. Thank you. Back to your queue.
Yeah, no one came to get my wine. Matt, we caught you chugging vodka behind the bleachers.
Oh,
I'm still in shock by this carafe. Is that how you say it? Whatever.
Yeah, a carafe. Okay. This broke my body. Am I weird for not using the shift key and only using the caps lock?
you click it on and off. For
Yes.
each letter. You're psycho. Yes, that's weird. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
to answer your question, yes.
Yes, yes. Yeah, definitely weird. Have you been doing that? Who taught you how to do that?
Well, funny you ask.
I feel like you wanted it to.
Yeah. So I taught myself that when we had to do the typing classes, and we didn't have like the thing that covered the keyboard. They literally had like old dish rags that they would put on top of our hands.
We had to tape a sheet of paper over our hands.
Wow.
Yeah, anyway.
So I would just go like, I sucked at typing, like for the better part of, well, still. And What was it talking about?
Caps lock.
Oh yeah, and then so I just started using
dish
caps
rag.
lock. And like 3 years after I learned how to type, they're like, yeah. So I was like shift, and then I made a capital letter. I'm like, did what now?
You, huh?
And yeah, so I've just never used shift for anything.
How are your typing skills, Big Mac?
Pretty good, I guess.
My typing skills
I
are
still
up-
do I do like a variation of the hunt and pick, but I use these 2 fingers only. I'm fast as hell. But yeah, I was doing this a lot in elementary school, and then your teacher, she'd come up and she would
Whack you across the
I
head.
mean, with her words, she would. She was
Yeah.
a real bitch.
More
But
verbal
yeah,
harassment.
now I'm like,
We had priest teachers, so they'd just whack us off.
that actually sounds kind of nice. But I just use these 3, my thumbs and these 2 fingers, and I'm fast as hell with those.
You're a
3 fingers.
crab.
Yeah, like this. But I do use my pinky for shift because I'm not a complete psycho.
It's right next to it. But I do forget
But you
that
gotta
caps
turn
lock.
it on and off.
I forget that caps lock is on all the
You've
time.
typed 100 words and you look up, you're like, no!
That's how it goes. Too.
Swear to God, I'm not this angry, Mom.
And sometimes I'm just like, I'm not retyping that. I'm just
Send it anyway. Oh shit,
Nice.
Matt really wants this done.
Yeah, he sounded
What
angry.
email is in.
The first letter is always in small though, and then it says "fuck."
I'll do that when I text Matt, usually like something about a Cubs game, like "let's go" in all caps, and then I'll forget to turn it off. I'm just having a normal conversation. And all.
Yes, I had a great day.
Do you want to get lunch today?
My mom
Should we
types
go
like
for a
this.
wrap?
Middle fingers.
Oh man.
She uses all just middle fingers.
Yep.
See, that drives me nuts. Have you ever had to like teach somebody how to like navigate a spreadsheet that has zero experience?
I don't even know how. So
Oh, okay. I'm a big spreadsheet guy. And especially for like some of the inventory I do, I've been doing it for 4.5 years of like just the same shit over and over. So I can just blast right through it, but I've been training somebody else. You want to test your patience. You teach an inexperienced person how to navigate a spreadsheet, and it is tough. They do like the Matt thing where they'll accidentally press caps, and they're like 4 cells in, and it's all caps.
it's a really good week this week.
A lot of energy.
I thought you guys were gonna agree with me that it wasn't weird, and you were both
No,
pretty
I
quick to be
have-
like, "What the fuck is
Throw
wrong
you under
with
that bus 100%.
Well,
Is
and
Matt weird? Yes.
now that we're asking, is Matt weird? Time for probably one of the biggest questions that we've had on this podcast. I'm really excited about this one. It's the simple question: is Matt gay?
Yes.
And I see Matt himself on the shared rundown typed yes.
Damn, this
It wasn't
insane.
me.
Oh, shit. Maybe.
It changes with the weather, I'm sure. That rainy day, that rainy week that we had, Matt was probably feeling real
Yeah.
gay, looking for some companionship.
I'm playing pickleball with myself.
chips in bed. Oh, never mind. Yeah, pickleball.
Yeah. I mean, some days you putt from the rough.
Some days you're the catcher, some days you're the pitcher, and some days you're both.
Anyway, that was a quick one, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he already answered.
I get scared too easily
Yeah, I know.
because I was at 1 Million Cups when we were presenting, and someone tapped me on the shoulder, and I spilled scalding hot coffee all over myself. And then played it off and was like, no, it's cold brew. It's my hands just boiling.
It's bubbling in front of you.
Yeah, then I spilt an entire beer when one of my uncles tapped me on the shoulder. And then I watched the trailer for the HBO show It and was pretty scared.
They have a show for that now?
It's coming out. Don't
Like-
watch the trailer. I
Like
was
Pennywise? It?
Yeah, I
Nice.
was mortified.
That's interesting.
Is it Bill Skarsgård? Is he the actor in it?
No, it's like
Oh.
kids in the 60s or something.
Oh.
They're basically just trying to be Stranger Things.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah.
Why don't we have any original ideas? Why do we just like, oh, that was a good movie. Let's just make a spin-off TV show about it.
Yeah.
Did we run out of ideas?
I mean, it's weird because isn't it like a Stephen King book?
Mm-hmm.
he's written like 700 other books.
Yeah.
Pick one of those.
Right.
I think the dude was a pretty good author. Like,
Yeah, I haven't read a single one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
honestly, I don't think I've ever read a book front to back in my entire life.
I read The Hatchet front to back when I was in middle school.
Classic.
Or elementary school, whatever it was, but that would probably be the last one.
Yeah, that's one where homeboy gets in like a plane crash. And then
Yeah, in the wilderness.
somehow has.
The pilot has a heart attack, and he's like,
Is that what happens?
He's like going to see his dad or something. And
He's the only
pilot-
survivor. That must be
Well,
traumatic.
there were two people in the plane, so yeah, it was him and the pilot. And
So
the
was this
pilot
a
had, like,
Bush
heart
plane?
attack.
Because how did we
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
a
did
hatchet
he-
past TSA?
yes.
Did he eat him?
No, he like crashed in a lake or something.
And he ate
Dude, I
rabbits.
don't know.
We got protein
I read it when I was
poisoning.
like 12.
Dead.
Yeah. Given the opportunity, I would probably eat a human. Like in that situation.
I mean, it's either that or death. So
If they're like, we have this plate of fruits and vegetables that are just sitting right here for you, or you can
Eat
this
Ron.
human. I'm like,
I'm adventurous. I'd
Yeah.
try it once.
I'll get the fire started.
We're like all having an internal debate. We just look over and Matt's just already over there.
He's sharpening his knife.
Oh, I thought we were all going to be doing this.
He's got like a professional chef knife kit. And he just, it's like, where did you've had a knife set this whole time?
I've been waiting for this moment.
Well, we're moving right along here, episode 250. I don't know if you noticed, Birdie Mac, but we have what we call housekeeping, which is just those points that we start with. That was today, for those of you scoring at home, it was 21 minutes of the show. A few weeks ago, it was 35 minutes. Where we just talk about random shit. But I figured we could talk about sports. I'm kind of like, oddly enough, I'm kind of into the NBA right now.
Really?
How are you guys?
Oh, the Timberwolves are in it. Aren't you in Minnesota?
I've lost so much money betting on the Timberwolves. Like, whatever one I choose, they just let me down. I think I lost like $1,200 so far.
Jesus.
Every time that you bet like for the T-Wolves, they disappoint. Every time you bet against them, they score 143 points and set a franchise record for most points scored in a playoff game.
So let's
Did they
go.
do that this year?
That was their last game.
game
Good
three.
God.
So game 1, T-Wolves to cover the spread.
Yeah.
Game 2, T-Wolves cover the spread. Game 3, Oklahoma City to cover the spread. Let's switch it up. T-Wolves blow them out.
Yeah. I saw a tweet about like Luke Garza. He's one of the backup. What is he, like a center or something?
Yeah, he went to Iowa for like 7 years. His eyebrows are humongous.
Yeah, and they put in all their bench players because they're up by like 30. And the tweet was like, Luke Garza was feeling it tonight. And he was like 4 for 4 with like 7 points and played 4 minutes.
But during those 4 minutes. Oh, my God. Look at that guy. That's like
Holy hell.
the male version of that chick from the movie Dodgeball.
Franz throws the dodgeball, hits that guy, and he's like,
I think that guy's really dead.
He's just laying there.
oh, man.
And that's only her changeup.
But I also noticed you're a Phillies fan. You two went down to Wrigley together, check
Yeah.
out a Cubs Phillies series. Went to 2 games. I laughed pretty hard the first one you went to. The Phillies scored zero runs.
Took a far, they,
The wind was
it was
also
a fart sandwich, dude.
The wind was blowing in like 25 miles per hour both days. So the only person to hit a home run both days was Max Kepler, and it looked like an accident.
Yeah.
He just pulled one down the right field line, didn't get more than like 6 feet off the ground. Just drilled the scoreboard.
The rain and wind was just drilling us, and Matt and I were just belligerently drunk and went the 12th roll.
Well, and then I was checking the MLB standings, and most recently, the Phillies have like the best record in the MLB all of a sudden. And I was like,
right now.
how did this happen? Then I saw they were on a 9-game heater. I don't know up to this point.
I think they lost last night.
Okay, that came to an end. But then I also checked because the Cubs are currently in a series with the Rockies. The Phillies were on a 9-game win streak. That's as many wins as the Rockies have.
Yeah, I'm convinced our slow pitch softball team could beat the Rockies.
There's a decent chance. But yeah, then I noticed that the Phillies had a 4-game stand with the Rockies. Well, no wonder why they won 9 in a row.
Oh, shit.
And then, yeah, before you got here, Matt and I were talking about how historically shitty the Colorado Rockies are in 2025. And Matt's like, have they won a single series yet? So I went back through their entire schedule. They've gotten swept in 8 series.
Oh, my God.
Like, what do you say? Because their manager already got fired, right?
Yeah.
What's the clubhouse chatter?
Just
like what's the
ripping lines,
dugout?
I don't know.
Yeah, they just like, are they just punting?
It's game day.
I have it similar to Angels in the Outfield at the beginning of the movie when the guy comes in, he's like, "We can't win. That would be a sin." And then the manager like throws a bag of bats, and he's like, "God damn it!"
Or where they're like from Talladega Nights, we're like, let's look at the positives.
Yeah.
We're all still dear friends.
We tried hard. We're all still dear friends. Shut up, Glenn.
You guys got to try one of these sandwiches. They're really great.
Got a good sauce.
I'm going to eat this. I'm going to make a phone call, and I'll be right back.
In the middle of a NASCAR race. But like, I mean, they're professional athletes, so there's got to be some competitive drive, but you got to think that some guys are like, whatever. I'm making the league minimum, and that's
At least, yeah.
large.
I mean, losing is a lot better when you make $1 million a year doing it.
That's what I'm saying. Do you
Right.
think some of them are like, they're like talking to their wife after the game, and they're just like, whatever, what's for dinner?
Yeah, right.
What's in the crock pot? I'll be home in 20.
Most of the time, teams like this, like the White Sox, are like, well, they're going to trade a lot of guys at the trade deadline. The Rockies have like no one that's worth trading for.
No.
They have like 1 or 2 relievers maybe, and then their third baseman.
I heard that they're going to trade one of the evergreens from center field
Yep.
to another ballpark that's been looking to spruce up their vegetation.
Yes. It's absolutely insane because they draw like a pretty huge fan base for them just to get dick slapped.
When I was watching the games when the Phillies played them, they had a fairly full
Yeah, it's like-
stadium. I'm like, who is going to watch these shitbags
Yeah.
play baseball?
Phillies fans, probably.
Yeah, it probably was pretty even, half and half.
Yeah, well, I saw like a Rockies fan made a post or whatever, and it was once again, it's like, okay, here's the positives. It's like going to a Rockies game is really fun if you like the other team. And then the other point was like, the beer in this section is delicious. And then the final point was, and it was a picture, and it was a really nice skyline, but it's like, the view from right field is impeccable.
Did you see when they were talking about it, like when the sun was going down and they show the view of the first baseman and his entire face is just blown out from the sun, like he can't see the ball getting thrown from third base. He's just like, that's a major league stadium and your first baseman can't see the ball.
I got scared when I took rounders and slow pitch softball.
Yeah.
As a second base, I'd purposely play like 10 feet into the outfield
Right.
so a little steam would get taken off.
And the
of it.
only guy hitting balls at you is one that just had a fight with his wife in the parking lot over whether he had too many beers or not.
Did you see that video of the guy? He's warming up in the bullpen and someone hits a home run and they shut the lights off to do like a thing as he threw a pitch. And they're like, well, we have to assume the bullpen catcher's dead.
Yeah, it was the home run celebration.
Cut to commercial.
He's just laying there. And,
Oh, I think he's just sleeping.
one time, you'll appreciate this as a softballer yourself, but we were playing in a very large tournament, and one of our players just hit a piss missile to the second baseman. And like, these are low to medium low grade fields, so there's like little rocks and shit, and sometimes you get a bad hop. And the second baseman, let's just say, wasn't the most athletic person in the world, and he had these like just not Oakley glasses, but like off-brand Oakley glasses on. It's kind of like like
The
a Guy
wallet.
Fieri
Like,
kind of
yeah.
vibe.
It's like when you're drunk at a gas station, you're like, these look sick.
That's I'm gonna grab that sick pair of eye gogs up there.
That's what he was wearing.
That's what I want.
And so it hops up and just drills him right in the face. And all the spectators, all the players, everyone, it was the collective ooh. And so the guy on my team goes to first, and like he got absolutely just ripped by this ball. And so the ball just kind of flails away, and all like the near players like go to tend to the guy. But at the same time, it's still like a live ball. Like the ump did it. So my guy, my teammate, like sees this happening and takes second.
Oh no!
And I remember I was like coaching third base. I was like, let's just.
You're doing a full windmill.
At the same time, it's a one-run game. So come on.
Well, I was like, I appreciate the hustle, but let's stop at second base and
This man has a family.
somebody open the side gate for the ambulance.
The ambulance was just Steve on a golf cart. Brought him to the,
That's like
parking lot.
when the guy at the Cubs Pirates game that just fell off the 25-foot bleachers, and they took him off in a maintenance cart, like a John Deere, like his legs were hanging off the back of it.
It's just bouncing around in critical
Like,
condition.
should we get the ambulance out of here? No, it was just a fan.
No.
They just load him
No,
up
the
in a
game's not
wheelbarrow with a flat tire.
Yeah. Get Gary out there with his barrel. He'll love this.
What's their
Just has fucking old manure in it. that he's-
what's their mascot's name? Clark or something with the
No,
Cubs mascot?
that's the Cubs.
Yeah,
Clark.
it's just him with the wheelbarrow running out there.
I think they should whip out the baseball helmet golf cart that doesn't even have, like, his leg is clearly broken and needs to be steady, and it's just dangling over the front.
The bones just flapping. Do you know when someone gets like really hurt, they make a noise that's like,
Yeah.
so
I think that's the guy from the Goonies.
yeah, it is. Yeah, they do that, and we were playing this traveling basketball game, and my friend this kid was on a just breakaway and just undercuts him, and he does like a full flip and just lands on his head, and then does the. And as we're watching this, my friend that just did this, like attempted homicide, just looks over at me and goes, "Wow, they better call the ambulance." Am I right? I'm like, you just killed
Like a
this.
punctured lung. He can't breathe.
Or like he's
Get up, shake it off. His dad's in the stands. You're embarrassing me.
he's the gentle giant, so he's like they're supposed to stabilize his neck, and he just yanks him up, and he just got a fucking flailing body. Oh, but we're here for episode 250. We're having a good time, and it's flying by. But we have Birdie Mac here, so let's shift the focus to you a little bit.
God.
Well, why don't you tell our listeners? I know you've been on in the past, so check out that episode. I can't remember what number it was, but just type in Birdie Mac, and you'll find it. But just give them a reminder, a refresher. What is Birdie Mac? How did it start, and what's the latest? What do we have going on?
It's my attempt at social media golf, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it. It's basically just me making an ass of myself the majority of the time. Started it on Instagram about a year and a half ago and moved it over to TikTok and just kind of been rolling ever since then. I just started doing YouTube a couple weeks ago. I actually filmed one of my episodes today before I came here.
Yeah, what's that about? What can our viewers check out?
It's called. I thought of the idea for it about a year ago, but I didn't have any cameras or anything to shoot it with, so I just sat on this.
Turns
idea.
out it's a pretty critical piece of equipment.
Social media requires a camera for shit. That's crazy. I call it Hidden Gems. It's basically just me traveling around North Dakota playing kind of unknown small town 9-hole golf courses. And it's really cool. I mean, it's just kind of exactly like the name would say. It's hidden gems, like ones people don't really know about. But the point is to go there and kind of just show off. Even though North Dakota is only habitable for 5 months out of the year, we have some pretty good golf around the area. So I don't know. That's kind of the point. All the courses I've been to have been really cool. They were excited that we were there doing that, and got a bunch of free beers at one of the courses that I went to, and they found out I was there. I was pretty cool. But yeah, just kind of a love letter to North Dakota golf, I guess.
Nice.
What's the best food spread at the course you've been to so
We
far?
went, dude.
Yeah, you had a picture the other day of some food that looked pretty tasty. I don't know
Where would that have been at?
I think you were at the turn somewhere, and you had looked like a to-go box. I don't know if that was part of the Hidden Gem
that was at Hot
series.
Tree.
But, okay.
Yeah, and I had a chicken strip melt, and it was gas actually. But
wow.
yeah, we went to Linton here just last weekend and shot an episode. Me and my buddy Burling and Paul and Alex Burling. He said we were on the second hole, and he's like, I want it to be known I'm drinking a beer every hole. And I was just like,
Famous last
Christ, dude. So we paid for 18. So, it's a 9-hole course. So the first round we shot the episode, and Burling is just getting hornswoggled throughout this first episode. I mean, I ended up shotgunning a beer with him because I didn't want him to be left alone. But he goes into the clubhouse after our first round and wants to get a hot dog. He goes in, and he's 9 beers deep at this point, and he goes up to the lady. He's like, can I get 4 hot dogs and 4 Busch Lights? She's like, you want 4 of them? She's like, I haven't thrown any on the grill. She's like, I could just microwave them for you. He's like, yeah, that's fine. I'll just take 4 of them. And they were like the big ass.
Oh my God.
Booker ate every fucking one of those things, dude. And yeah, he just got torn up. He did drink 9 beers and 9 holes. It was hilarious. But
How was the golf game for him after?
So bad, dude. If he stays away from the sauce, he's not bad.
I feel like that's just cliche run of the mill golf where it's like, do I take the game seriously today and like try, or do I pound several beers down?
I tried 18 beers and 18 holes. I did
made it to 6.
I did the Budweiser like select 55s or whatever, thinking that would be like, oh, easily make it through. I made it to hole 14 and just fucking vomited all over the place. And then I was like, I'm gonna go home.
This has been fun, boys. Gotta get the hell out of here.
What'd you shoot? It's like I lost my clubs on hole 8.
They're all gone. I ran them over.
I play my best when I'm like riding 4 or 5 beers.
Yeah,
there is a slot.
And then, but it's a cliff.
Oh, it's
if you get to.
It's like right. You're riding the escalator up and up and up, and then the escalator just doesn't have a platform to get off on. It just shoots you off the end.
Yeah.
So around beer 6, 7, 8, yeah, I kind of fall off the wagon.
I made that mistake this past weekend. Just having some beers, doing some stuff, and I was like, oh, there's Coors Light in there. I'm not the biggest fan of Coors Light. It's fine, but I was like, oh, I'll take it easy. 6 Coors Lights later, I'm like, oh, it's only 2:15 in the afternoon.
Well, they were sitting there. So I've actually kind of been starting to like Miller Lite lately, which I hate more than anything in the world because I used to make fun of people for drinking Miller Lite all the time because it's piss water. It's disgusting.
Tastes like
Turns out it's pretty goddamn good, actually.
How much does your lower back hurt?
Yeah.
No comment.
I have shit. You said Miller Lite. Fucking my bowels just.
All right. Well, I'll die on that hill by myself.
Yeah. Yeah. You and a bunch of divorced dads will die on that hill.
This guy's got a lot of free time on there.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
kids that hate
you
them.
and guys that own a boat that never works will die on that hill.
Well, I enjoyed golfing with you last summer. We'll have to hit a few rounds this summer because it was
fun.
it was fun because like I guess if you were to compare you and I, you're like Tiger Woods, and I'm like the guy with like no arms or legs trying to drive.
The guy that's a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
But I would give it like I wouldn't give it my all. I would give like damn near close to my all and be like, yeah, whatever, like 100, 150 yards, down the fairway. And then you would go up and just blast it 35 yards past the green into the trees. Fuck! And it was the classic, we'd be sharing a cart. It's like, do you want to go look for your ball? And you're like, no. Yeah, let's go take a peek. And then we're over in the trees and the tall grass for like 20 minutes. And
I swear to God, it was right around here, dude. It came right in on this line. God forbid I'd take a stroke. No, what if I hit a good shot out of there, though,
It's like, where's Big Mac at? And he's just building a fort. And
You just hear.
I think my ball's over here by
tree's in
this
my
tree.
Dude, I played in a scramble like a couple weeks ago, and like there's a bunch of like shit on the greens. The dudes in front of us brought an industrial grade leaf blower with
Oh my
them.
God.
And so every time they get on the green, it just be like blow.
You're trying to putt on the other green and you just hear. That's crazy. I've thought about doing that actually. So I'd
Battery powered one.
just strap it to my push cart.
Or it's not battery powered. Like, is there an outlet over there somewhere? You just have the 400-foot extension cord.
You have a gas Jenny in the back of your car.
Well, I feel like it's always a thing, like when you're teeing off, it's generally courteous to be quiet, keep it down. But I'm also the type of person where it's like, I'm getting ready. I'm like, it's like the Happy Gilmore thing where it's like, let's make just a little bit. Like, let's just have light conversation.
Like a little noise here.
It can't be too quiet.
It's right before you swing. Pussy.
Yeah, fuck.
Dude, okay. One time I was playing golf in like Fargo or something, and the drink cart girl didn't know what a bra was. And
Oh.
Wait, what? They didn't know what was?
a bra.
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Fun
And
to learn, though.
All right.
so I'm playing with this older gentleman, and he's on the phone. He like, called one of his friends in like Denver or something. And in my backswing, I hear this. He goes, and get this, no bra. And I hit 6 feet behind the ball and like drop the club, and my grip hits the ball and it rolls. And I'm just,
I thought this was a golfing term.
Yeah,
I'm
doesn't
an
count.
idiot.
Mulligan. When we were in Linton, my buddy Burling, he, like I said, he's just ripped at this point. And
Four hot dogs.
we're on hole 8. He's got 8 beers in him, and he sets up on for some reason they have a sprinkler head in the middle of the tee box that's like a foot sunken into the ground. I don't know, but he sets up so his back foot is right in this fucking hole and just chugs the shit out of the ball. It goes like 8 feet, and he goes on the 8th hole. He goes, breakfast ball. Goes and grabs another ball, tees it up, back foot in the same spot, does the exact same thing again. He's just like, fuck this, I'm sitting in the car.
It's just leaking. He's like, I don't know why my right foot is soaked.
Yeah, I must have spilled my beer or something.
All right. Well, Birdie Mac, thank you so much for joining us for episode 250. Check out Birdie Mac on Instagram and TikTok, you say?
Yep, I just started YouTube here.
And
recently.
YouTube, the Hidden Gems series, sponsored.
Yeah.
Who's the sponsor for
Caddy
that?
Splash is our hidden gem sponsor. It's a club cleaning tool.
Nice. And you got a
very
drink
nice.
sponsor recently.
Yep, sure did.
Who's that?
It's an outfit out of Nashville called Spirited Hive. They make some cocktails that use honey as the sweetener in their drinks. They're really freaking good. Actually,
Got any extras? We
Yeah.
gotta try them out sometime.
and they're 8%.
they're like 7.4%. Yeah.
You're just in your garage and you just hear beep, beep, and it's just a forklift blast through your garage door with a crate full of these drinks.
I'd be all right with that.
Set it down right here.
Yeah,
Like,
that'll do right there.
Yeah, don't
boys.
worry about the garage door.
That should last me through the weekend.
It'll clean it up. But yeah, thank you again to Birdie Mac for joining us. Matt, what can our listeners do to get more involved in the No Brains, No Headache universe?
Follow us on all social media platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and you can leave us a review on Spotify or Apple.
Upcoming schedule, not a whole lot. I mean, summer's pretty much here. We may have some changes coming up, but we will let you know. We're also going to be doing the Lake series, so definitely join us for that if you'd like. We're going to record one episode a month up at the lake and see what kind of shenanigans we can get into. Comedy shows every Wednesday. We are at Gideon's for open mic night, open to comedians, musicians, whoever just wants to get on stage and share their talents. We encourage you to do so. Bring a little culture and entertainment to the capital city of Bismarck. July 11th, I will be at the Drop Zone in Minot, and September 13th, that's a Saturday, we are at Belle Mayhew's with John Kennedy and David Standel and others to be announced. So We'll keep you up on that. But other than that, thank you so much for listening. And up next, we have episode 251.
You're watching Channel 4 News with 5-time Emmy Award-winning anchor Ron Burgundy and Tits McGee.
Good evening, San Diego. I'm Veronica Corningstone. Tits McGee is on vacation.